What's really good? What's really good, everybody out there? How y'all feeling this Tuesday? Today we got some stuff to talk about. We got two things to talk about. One is the usual Sony camera drop. We're gonna be real short on it because there's not a lot new to discuss, but I feel like you should know about it. I feel like I should share that information with you. And then we're gonna talk about today's topic or subject of the day, which talks about why does it take so long? Why am I still working my 9 to 5? Why haven't I transitioned over to the business side, to my business, to doing this full time? Why haven't I done that? What's the deal with that? What's taking it so long? We're going to talk about that. So before we do that, make sure you guys hit the like button, thumbs up, wherever you're watching it at. Make sure you go ahead and do that for me before we get back into it. But let's roll the graphics first. You know how we got to do this. We got to do it. Let's go. What is going on? If this is your first time on this channel, my name is Ty. I am Black by popular demand. Happy Black History Month. This channel is about those who are looking to turn their passion into profit. We're talking about the content creators, the photographers, videographers, podcasters that want to make a living doing this. You can go other places to find out how to remove your mama's stretch marks from the images. But here we're going to teach you how to get that bag. And that's all we talk about. It's simply the bag part of it. How to get the bag, man. So that's what we're doing today. That's what we're talking about. So today we got two topics. One is going to be a quick, slim slide through. The other is going to be something a little more interesting, but we're not going to keep y'all here too long today. And I know I always say that, and then we have a 4-hour video, but today we're not going to do it. So real quick, let me start off with our sponsor for the day. Our sponsor for the day is FlashFilm Academy. We just released module 2. The content creators guide to build your business. That module covers more of the business side. Module 1 covers setting it up, establishing the business, what you need to think about, your niche and all of that. That covers, now that you have the business up and running, you know, what do you need to do? What do you need to do to move forward? How do you send a proposal? How do you call a client back? How do you make it easy to turn leads into clients? Things like that. We cover a whole lot. That can be found at flashfilmacademy.com. And don't forget, for the rest of the month, 30% off that thing. So don't say I didn't show you love. Don't say I didn't, because I did. All right, let's get into today's topic of today. Let's start with the FX3. For those who have not seen the Sony FX3, it is another variant of the A7 III. Let me just be real and say that. It's another variant of the A7 III. And it is nice. I'm just gonna be real with you. If you got an A7 III, you can just skip this part of everything. Like it's no different, right? It's no different than the A7 III. The only difference is it has a different form factor. And that's it. And they got Cinetone, which is a shooting profile that will be coming to the A7 IIIs soon. And that's it. It looks more like a cinema camera. That's it. And it comes with a handle up top, which will allow you to get audio through your XLRs, which if you bought an A7 III, you could have just bought that separately, in which I did. I've already owned one, and I like to I like to use it. So I don't really see the difference. There is no difference. It is about $3,800, so it's a little bit more than the A7 III, and it gives you a little bit more of a little bit better form factor. You don't need a cage. Let me show the graphics one more time. You don't need a cage with it because it has all the built-in ports and stuff up top. As you can see, you got your quarter threads, so you can attach stuff, and you don't need a cage with it. That's pretty much. But once you get an A7 III, it's pretty much the same thing. This is a video version of it. Sensor wise, color wise, low light wise, it's exactly the same thing. I have two A7S3s. If I decide to buy a third one, I'll probably get one of these because I'm more video heavy. I do like to use them for photography, but I got an A7 III that I prefer for photography. So, you know, um, I still think that there is going to be an A9S or an Alpha 1S coming. So I'm just chilling on that. Let's also talk about the new let's not forget about Blackmagic, man. Blackmagic, that 6K Pro is a monster, bro. Um, it's a monster. I don't know these Blackmagic, they do a good job at punching people in the throat. They do a really good job at just punching the competition in the throat. And even though we wasn't scheduled to talk about it, we can chop it up a little bit about it because um, I'm sure you guys, you know, if you've been watching anything, that camera just moved up in my ranks. Johnny says it has S-Cinetone, the A7S III doesn't. It does correct. The A7S III does not have S-Cinetone, but it is rumored to be coming really fast. Next firmware update. Okay, so this is, as you can see me down here a little below, this is the new Blackmagic pocket cinema camera 6K, and it is just a monster. Let's talk about it for a second, just real quick. I know it wasn't a part of the, you know, the title and all of that, but I think it's important that we discuss it because they've added some really dope things to this camera, man. They took away they added things to they added things so people can't be like, it's not a true cinema camera. Let me make it clear. There is no true definition of a cinema camera, right? Cinema camera is a term camera companies created to sell you a camera that you should use on filming projects. There is no true definition of a cinema camera. So somebody can't say it doesn't have built-in ND filters. It's not a cinema camera. Shut up. Get out of here, guy. Because there is no such thing as a true cinema camera. It's just a name that companies put on stuff to make you buy it. Just like a sports car, technically, they'll give something a tighter suspension and a tighter wheel, and people was like, that's a sports car now. And now your insurance go up. They did nothing to the motor. You can kind of say sports cars are faster. That's cool. But let's just talk about the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K. No difference in sensor. They added ND filters. They added a tilting screen. They added the ability to add a viewfinder. They added a little bit better autofocus. And you know, the dynamic range is still the same. You're still getting 13 stops of dynamic range, so it's a little bit less than what you're getting from the A7S. You still got raw internal. You still can record to SD cards. You still got a lot of great features. The Pocket 4K was one of my favorite cameras of all time. They added a better screen, a brighter screen. I said it already, a tilting screen. So it is just an absolute monster, bro. Like it is, if you're going to buy Blackmagic, that's the one to get. But I'm gonna be real with you. That tells me that the new Ursa for sure is going to be 8K. The new Ursa, and it'll probably be announced NAB, something like that. I can almost bet money it's going to be at least 8K. It may be more, but it's going to be at least 8K. Probably going to be like 8.6K or something like that, 8.5, 8.7. So it is EF lens. I usually buy all my lenses unless they're Sony exclusive in EF mount. I just like it that way. You want to see the picture again? Boom, bang, pow. There you go. That is it. A little bit of a bulge in the back, a little bit of a bulge in the front. You got the viewfinder, which is optional. You can add it, and I think the viewfinder is like an extra 200 bucks, something like that. Another thing is it now runs off Sony batteries instead of the smaller Canon batteries. So you get a little bit better battery life, the MP series, and you get better battery life, and you get the ability to hot swap it. You get the ability to swap it out with the new there's a new what's the word I want to look for? It takes Sony batteries, so the new grip allows you to swap it. It allows you to go ahead and swap that thing on out. In fact, let me see if I can show you guys some of it real quick, because I want to make sure I can give you guys an idea of how it looks. So let's do this. Boom, bang, pow. is just a breeze to use. And I like the 4K as well. 6K is probably my favorite Blackmagic camera. A lot of people don't know I actually sold my Ursa. So I had to let it go. Drink of the day is water. Brought to you by some cheap Sam's purified drinking water. My favorite water is Fiji for sure. All right, so I'm saving to upgrade my eventual. What I recommend the A7 III right here. I like the A7 III, but I would say spring a little more and get the A7S. I would say get the A7S. To me, I feel like the A7S is the most flexible camera. The A7S III, I'm sorry, let me make sure I clarify that. The A7S III is the most flexible camera on the market right now. It's the only camera where I feel like it can covers it's the only camera that I feel like can cover the filming side of it and do video, and the low light is great. And when you add the audio module on top, the audio is excellent. So in my opinion, the A7S III is just wonderful, and the size of it is great. I'd had some jobs where I was shooting with the Ursa, and then I had a job where I shot with the A7 III, and I was just going back and forth between that and going back and forth between the Blackmagic Pocket, and I was like, "There's no way I can shoot with this Ursa. I just can't keep doing it. Like, I don't want to lug that thing around and break it down. I just didn't want to do it. And it was. I ended up moving it because of that. And I love the Ursa. Ursa was a great camera, but in the world where you're running and gunning, having something smaller is just it's much greater. So yeah, A7S III or the new FX3, either or. If you're doing mostly video, even though the FX3 also does photography as well, those are things that are great. I wish it came with false colors and things like that, but I'm sure they're probably saving that for a higher video model that they're going to come out with. The good thing I like about Sony is Sony, unlike Canon, their mirrorless lineup will step all over their cinema lineup. Like, they don't care, bro. Canon won't. Canon camera part will never give you video features that are as good as cinema. They want you to buy two different cameras. Sony don't care. Sony will kill the game with their mirrorless lineup and then allow their cinema lineup to borrow features from it. Because the FX6 is just another A7S III. And I really don't even, I like the FX3 better than the FX6. I would take it over that all day and night. Not gonna lie to you, if I'm looking for it. So I have this A6400. Should I invest in a second? If you only have one, get two A6400s. Always get two of the same cameras. If you can't afford to buy two of them at a time, I tell people don't buy it. Buy, if you're doing this for business, right? If money's on the line, you want to. Not for two angles, you want redundancy, right? That's why you see a lot of high-end photographers or high-end cameras. They're like, I don't have two card slots. I'm not doing it. I need redundancy. All it takes is for you to get caught up one time in a situation where money is on the line, and you choke because of lack of redundancy, and you'll never do it again. You'll never do it again. So two great cameras in 1 week. It is a good time to be a content creator, y'all. Like, they are creating dope content, like dope, not content, but dope cameras. Like, the camera industry is just, it's like they're fighting it out, and we're just getting the winner of each, we're just getting the winner of each battle. So it's pretty crazy right now. Let me put that on the screen because my Instagram, I don't know, for some reason when I get live, people are like, where's that promo code? And I post it and nothing ever results from it, but I'll do it because y'all asking for it. So we're gonna get right into it real quick. Good morning, Ty. What was the question here? I do portraits, wedding, lifestyle shoots, but I want to incorporate video. Do you have a recommendation on the best place to learn editing? I shoot Leica SL2S video. It's nice. It says, but, and then it cuts off. Okay, I'm gonna tell this. I'm just gonna be real with you. I feel like, and I in the future, I am really pondering courses that teach photography and videography the way we learned it in the military. I still have all of my information, like all of my lesson plans and books and everything. So, and I'm just kind of course burnt out right now because of the master course. But I'm really thinking about teaching a fundamental photography course, a fundamental videography course. If you guys would like to see that, definitely post it in the comments. Scam likely he's calling me. But for now, I say LinkedIn Learning is the best bet. LinkedIn Learning, which used to be lynda.com, offers um a great set of courses that teaches the fundamentals, the basics. So that's definitely working. Real quick, great question. Ty, recently did a testimonial for my wedding videography brand. I'm realizing I really like shooting testimonials. Can I establish a niche with this? Yes. If you just want to shoot testimonials, you need testimonials for a specific type of audience. In the master course, actually in module 2, I talk about how to sell more with testimonials. That's a great thing that I kind of go over. And I really talk about what to do to use testimonials, where to use them, how to get them to sell more. So that's something that is big right now, and it'll help you close bigger and better deals. So that's something that's coming real soon. So really quick, before I get into, we're gonna move into the transitioning part. Why am I not transitioning? But first, we got to roll our sponsor first. We got to. Our sponsors are like, man, why are you not talking about our sponsors are like, we're supporting your channel and you're not showing enough of the sponsor stuff. So I got to show something from our sponsor. And then we're going to get right into talking about transitioning. What are you doing wrong? Why is it taking so long? So let's do that. Hey, pause for a second. I know you're in the middle of something dope, but I want to make sure I tell you about a course over at FlashFilm Academy that changed the game for me. It literally took my business from attracting mostly low-end clients to consistently landing bigger clients with bigger budgets. It's called the 5 Key Steps for Creating an Effective Portfolio That Converts. If you're a photographer, videographer, editor, or graphic designer, this course teaches you how to take what your brand does well and present those things in a way to help the client understand how your brand can help solve their problem. This course isn't just about editing, but helping you understand that when clients are trying to make a decision on why or even if they should work with you, blasting them with your best video clips set to music just won't cut it anymore. It doesn't set you apart, show value, or help buyers in the process of making a decision. This course teaches you how to create a commercial for your brand, providing a first impression that will help you 10x your ability to land clients. Remember, if you can't effectively tell your story, clients won't hire you to effectively tell their story. Create a demo reel that sells the client before you even speak to them. Go ahead, click the link. Let's get started. Good looking on the super chat. Josh said, send me that beat and I'll spit some fire intro songs. I'm not joking. If I send it to you, I'm going to need them bars. All right, let's go with the next one. I'm going to definitely need them bars. Rode just released the Wireless Go 2. I wasn't even up on that. Gosh. I may have to go ahead and order one of them things. I like the Rode Wireless Go 1. I seen they were doing like a double pack or something like that. I'll have to see what that's all about. I haven't seen much about the Wireless Go 2, but I'm sure it's pretty dope. It's a lot of stuff coming out, man. You would think that, and let me share this with you, right? Because a lot of people think that, oh, COVID, economy's down, blah, 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 blah. That's not the case, bro. Like, companies are releasing stuff because stuff is selling, because people are getting jobs, because people are working. So if you're not busy right now, if you're not picking back up, because business for us is back up, like it's back there. If you're not there, there's a little bit of a reason. There's a little bit of a reason for it. Like you gotta transition a little bit. And I want to talk about a few things, a few reasons as to why that transition is not switching and not as fast as you think it should be. And I'm just gonna be real with you, right? I'm just gonna be really honest with you. For the same reason, this week is a great example of why people get derailed from investing in what's important and they get caught up in the gear, right? Today we had 2 cameras, 2 mics, all kind of stuff drop, and people are like, I gotta get it. Oh my God, I gotta do. And the thing is, to help you transition over to your business, the thing you really need to invest in is yourself, right? How much money are we spending on great copywriting for our website? How much money are we spending on great SEO for our website? How much money are we spending on advertising for our website? How much money are we spending on the platform for our website? How much money are we spending on ourselves to learn business, to learn how to show more value? How much money are we spending on our uniforms? Have we invested in the company vehicle? Like, what are you doing outside of gear to help that transition happen faster? A lot of people think I'm missing gear to go into business. You can rent gear. You can't rent a website. You can't rent the knowledge it takes to know how to present a proposal to a big client. That's the part that people skim over and they think, oh, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. For a lot of people, and I said this before, if I brought Walmart to you right now and they wanted to do a video, a lot of people would lose it just in the communication, just not knowing what to do, where to go, what are the steps. And sometimes big companies like that land on your lap and people lose it. They lose those clients because they have no experience on how to actually close those clients. They'll scare those clients off. Those clients will be like, something ain't right. Something ain't right. So you want to make sure that you are investing in the right thing to make that transition. All the gear in the world won't make you a production company. All the gear in the world. If I gave you 10 red Komodos, you'd still be at home and you'll be at $60,000 in debt waiting on a client to call. You have to invest in the right stuff. Stop investing in gear. And I know it's hard to say it today. Now that we got all this great gear, new crap coming up, stop investing in gear. Stop it. Do not invest in gear for another 2 years. I dare you. And put that money into your business. Put that money into this, into your website, into your copy, into your marketing, and your transition will happen almost overnight. A year from now, you will be working for yourself full time, picking and choosing clients. Like, I don't think I want to work with you. I want to work with you. Your project look like fun. Everybody's, paying exactly what you want. You'll just have the ability to be selective with who you work with. So stop, get out of the gear, get out of the gear porn, whatever they call it. I think that's the new name for it, the gear porn. Get out of that. Get out of that. Because those companies do a great job at making you feel like you need this to be adequate, right? Just and let me kind of twist it like this. Let me kind of twist it like this, because that technique is used in other aspects of retail, right? Makeup use it for women. If you don't have this kind of lipstick, you're not it. If you have wrinkles, you're not cute. If you're not thin, you're not pretty. If your hair is not long, you're not attractive. In the photographer world, the videographer world, if you're not shooting 4K, you're in the past. If you don't have good autofocus, your camera's old. If you don't have a red ring around your lens, your lens is worthless. The bokeh is not right. If you're not shooting at f1.2, if you don't have a super wide angle full sensor lens, you're not competent enough to be a great photographer. That's the same thing they're doing to you. You got to know the difference. Robert, good looking out on the super chat. Yesterday, I resigned from my $160K a year corporate job. I did one video, one live stream for the last year. That's my experience. Sweating bullets. Don't sweat bullets. You're betting on yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But make sure that when you bet on yourself, you're not betting on your gear. Actually bet on you. When I say bet on yourself, don't bet on the fact that you got 2 Canons and that's betting on your gear. When you're betting on you, you're betting on your ability to understand how to go after a client, how to be where they're looking, how to convert that lead into a customer. That's this. It ain't gear. I got tons of gear. And if I don't touch it, it don't make me money. If I don't do what I do, it don't make me money. All right? Gear, don't buy gear for 2 years. 2 years. The only asterisk to that is if a client says, we need this, then go buy it. Don't buy gear for 2 years. I challenge you. And if a client says, you know what, we need 6 people mic'd at the same time, go out and buy that. Go buy F8, you know, and then buy 8 different, microphones. Only buy what your client requests. Only buy what your client requests. If they don't request it, don't buy it. He said, Ty, I need that 8K RAW. That 8K RAW will make your computer dead. Your computer would just tap out. As soon as you put the file, as soon as you put the SD card in, it's like, nah, bro. So it's something to definitely think about. Real quick. Is Instagram only about photos? Is there any market for Instagram videos that entrepreneurs may offer? I shoot a lot of videos for my clients for Instagram, but I use it as an upsell. Hey, we're creating this content for you for your website. Would you like us to create a 30-second, a 60-second version for Instagram that's in the right format? Yeah, cool. That's an upsell. It's actually $200-$300, but it's something that is an a la carte item. It's a add-on. It's a la carte item. The best and most solid investment is a C-stand. Equipment wise, yes. There's a lot of people who want to go in business that don't own a C-stand. They don't own adequate light stands. They don't own sandbags. Look around. If you want to go in business and you don't own sandbags, you're focusing on the wrong thing. Because if you are in a situation where you are on location and somebody tap a light stand, and I don't care about it falling and tearing up your equipment. I care about it injuring somebody. That's what will put you out of business. You losing a camera, you can just go rent another camera. But having a light that's hot or whatever, a big wide LED panel fall on a child or a grown man that's double your size is going to cost you some money and probably a few bumps and bruises. And if you ain't got them hands, bro, you don't want that problem. If you ain't got them hands and a good lawyer, you don't want them problems. So something as simple as a $2 sandbag. And a lot of y'all are like, a sandbag? What am I going? A sandbag? A sandbag. You should own sandbags right now. Sandbag is one of the best investments ever. Big shout out to Tommy Calloway. Tommy Calloway has a great video on his channel. Tommy, post a link when you get time. Comparing the red Komodo to the A7 III. And as you can see below, what the results were. So Tommy, definitely post that video, man. I posted it in the Facebook group. If you guys aren't a part of the Facebook group, definitely make sure you are in the Facebook group. Where's that graphic at? Boom. That's where it goes down in the Facebook group. So I want to make sure you guys are definitely a part of that. I really enjoyed that video, Tommy. I thought it was a good video. And I was so close to buying the Komodo, it wasn't even funny. So a lot of people don't own lighting. You got to own lights. There is no way you got the best out of any camera you've owned if you have not invested in lighting. If you bought a new camera before filling your light kit out, you've never got the full benefit of that camera. Because that's literally like having a sports car and you never put like drag radios on it. You never put good gas in it. You never took it out of eco mode. Literally. So let's talk about that. How much? Let me go back there real quick, and let me go back here real quick. How much did you say we should invest in exactly what before gear? Johnny, that's a good question. Okay, let's go down a list of things that you should invest in before gear that will help you transition from working a 9 to 5 to going full time in this business. One, you need to have a great website. When I say great website, I also mean great demo reel. If your demo reel's trash, sit down. You need to invest in great copy for your website, right? Professional writing to help explain to a client what you do and why and how it can help them. Why they need you, how it can help them. Let's talk benefits, not just features. Great content writers will understand the difference. Just because you write it don't mean nothing. Get you a professional a professional copywriter. That's two. You want to make sure the graphics and everything is up to par on your website. You want to make sure that your website is smooth. It runs well on mobile devices, tablets, and desktops. Those are things you want to worry about. You want to make sure that it does a great job turning leads into clients. You want to make sure you have your sales process in order. So understanding what needs to take place with the client to close the client. You want to make sure you have your deliverables in order. How do I deliver it to a client? How do I get feedback? You want to make sure you have all of that. This is what you need to invest in. Because if I give you 8 Komodos right now and I get Walmart on the phone and they're saying, yeah, we need something shot. You're like, our budget is 300,000. We need this shot. Then you calling me like, what do I do, Ty? So this is what you should invest in. Get you some business books. Get you some entrepreneur books. I have a bunch listed on the website as far as books that I like and I've recommend at FlashFilmAcademy.com that will kind of walk you through it. You need to invest in understanding that part. It's way more important than the gear. But again, like I said, those gear companies do the same thing makeup companies do, car companies do. You're not successful if you don't have a Mercedes Benz, the best, you know what I'm saying, the best driving machine, blah, blah, blah. Canon does the same thing. You're not a real videographer if you're not shooting 8K, if you're not shooting 50 megapixels. You're not a real creator if you don't go out and buy the latest and greatest MacBook. It's the same thing. You don't need all of that. You don't need all of that. You don't need it. You don't need it. I ran a company off 2 A6500s for years. I sold my Blackmagic production 4K cameras to go to an A6500 and my quality improved. And I stuck with that camera until as long as I could, because I wanted to learn it and get comfortable with exposing and getting the right skin tones and understanding the color. And I just focused on growing my business. And that is what took me to the point where them A6500s paid for jibs, dollies, cranes. They paid for a lot of stuff. Again, if your camera right now is not paying for the next camera, if you got to go to work to pay for that next camera, you shouldn't be upgrading. Your camera should pay for the next 2 cameras. My A6500 paid for the next 2 cameras. So if you're not understanding that, if you are working in a 9 to 5 so you can dump money to buy gear, you're doing it wrong. Because you should only have to do that one time. Content is the new crack. If you got to work a 9 to 5 to buy crack to sell, and you sell it, you still got to go back to work. You're not a drug dealer like that. You're not a good drug dealer. That's common sense. You know what I'm saying? With any investment, if you got to go back to work after making a significant investment that should triple and quadruple, you're not doing it right. If you are working to buy gear, if you see the new Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera and you're like, when I get my check, I'm going to save and I'm going to put it on the credit card and I'm going to get that 6K. I got to have it. You already lost. You already lost. Where my good button at? So I'm here to keep it real with you. All these guys you see who are YouTubers who are opening up new cameras every week, that's called influencer marketing. That's because those camera manufacturers understand that you listen and love those guys. And if they say the new FX3 is the truth, sales go through the roof. You never think about it like this. Think about it like this. You never see a commercial for high-end cameras anymore, right? You never see commercials for high-end cameras. You'll see Rebels. You never see, where's the marketing budget? Where's the marketing budget for the FX3 or FX6? Where's the marketing budget? It's in YouTube. So it's in social media. It's in influencers. Because they know if they have an influencer that got 1 million subs that loves cameras, it's way more effective than putting a commercial in the middle of an NBA game where 1/260th of the viewers are photographers. Why do that when I can take the cost of a camera, which is really cost, right? So if you want to say A7S3 is 3,800, the cost is probably 1,950. If I can send this to a YouTuber and let him do a video on it, or even fly him to Hawaii to take dope pictures, I can reach 1 million people who love and feel like they need this camera. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for it. I'm not saying that there isn't a place and need for gear. Just don't fall for it all the time. Like, stick with what you got. If you focus on what I'm telling you to focus on, you'll make so much money that you'll be able to buy any damn camera you want. If you focus on what they're telling you to focus on, you'll just be able to get that camera. And it is a tangible item that feels good in the hands, but it is not, it won't get you to where you're trying to go. And where you're trying to go requires this. So you can go get a credit card and put yourself in debt, do all that stuff just to get home and shoot pictures of your kids, or videos of your kids in 8K, shoot your cat in 4K. But if you're not getting a client, nothing else matters. Again, I can take somebody who has no gear, teach them the business, and show them how to incorporate the price of renting your gear in your cost and do way more damage because of this than any gear you own. The gap between the worst camera and the best camera is very thin. The gap between an iPhone and an Alexa is very thin, right? Not you, Alexa. It's very thin, right? If you got a Pixel Peep, it's very thin, right? If I got a Honda Accord and it raced a Corvette and we had to go to slow motion to see who won, I don't care who won. The Honda Accord won. Like if it's that close and it's a Honda Accord against your Corvette, was supposed to be your top of the line super race car, whatever. If we got to go to the slow motion to see who won, the Honda Accord won, in my opinion. It may not have won the race, but it's so close that who cares? Why should I spend another $80,000 for this other car? Just so somebody else can have to Pixel Peep to see who won. So when it comes to camera gear, stop worrying about it. It's not going to make you better. It's not going to bring in more customers. It's not going to get you to this promised land of waking up when you want to and working for yourself. It's not. I'm not going to BS you here. Them other channels that want to sell stuff and sell you gear, they let them tell you that. I don't care about anything over 13 stops of dynamic range is more than enough. There's other things you could spend that money on, like C-stands and sandbags and gaffer's tape that you actually need. A company van, proper t-shirts, maybe a mask with your logo, maybe creating promotional material. Those things are way more valuable than a camera. Don't believe me? Go ask somebody who own all the gear. Ask how much business they doing. Very few people have a ton of gear that they aren't paying for out of their work pocket. If your job, again, I'll say it again. I'm going to say it one more time. Throat punch. If your job, your 9 to 5, is paying for your photography gear, more than just the first one. If it paid for the first one, that's fine. It got you in the game. If it's paying for your second gear, your second set of gear, your second camera, your upgrade, you're doing it wrong. That first camera should be able to pay for everything. 90%, I tell people all the time, that's exactly right. 90% of the work doesn't involve the camera. It's all the work that's done when nobody is looking. I tell people all the time, 90% of what I do, 90% of what I do does not involve a camera. Camera is just a 10%. I'll show up and shoot that for free. Like Allen Iverson said, practice. They pay me to practice. I play for free. They pay me to send out contracts, to do the negotiating, to come up with the game plan, to create the itinerary. I show up and film for free. I love it. It's exactly like that. What's good, Ty? Saving for Transit Connect for company cargo van. Is there any other model or year I should be looking at? Is it true they have transmission issues? No, I have never had it. My transit. So I got a Ford Transit Connect. Um, let me see if I can find one so I can throw it up on the screen. I have an older Ford. It isn't older. It's like a 2011, 2013, something like that. It has so many miles on it. It's not even funny. It has probably close to probably like 300,000 miles on it. It is the most reliable vehicle I own, in my opinion. If I had to drive to Germany, it's not even possible. This is it. Boom. If I had to drive to Germany in that thing, I have no problems with it. Mine don't have windows on the side though. Let me see if I can still be like, this would be a dope thumbnail. So I don't have windows in the back. That's my whip, right? Um, if I could, it's one of the most reliable vehicles I've ever owned in my life. 300,000 miles, still going strong. I'll still drive it to wherever. I have no intentions on selling it. I put new suspension on it, new everything. It is just I got it decked out. In module 3, I go over vans and cars and all of that. So I'll go over all the stuff I've added to it. But I love that vehicle. So I nickname all my vehicles. That one is called the Brinks truck because whenever I'm in it, I'm making money. So I'm always happy when I got to start that truck up. I'm like, yeah, we about to go get this bread. So, you know, it just, that's something to think about. How long did it take you to find the niche that you enjoy? Would you pick a niche that you love, but may not be as lucrative as a niche you don't like as much that pays really well? Okay, you're not going to be successful in a niche you don't like because you're not going to want to talk about it. You're not going to be good enough. You're not going to go home and study it and care about it enough to approach a conversation with up-to-date and valid information. Right. And I'll give you an example. If you don't care about cameras, if I'm forcing you to learn about cameras, you don't know about the FX3 until you hear about it a month later. If this is your thing, you're on it. I woke up this morning because I knew Sony had an announcement and I wanted to see what it was about. I watched the Blackmagic live camera update because I care about it. I can talk about it because I know it. I love it. I've used it. So when I speak to someone about this niche, I know it. I'm here. If it's something you would not love or like to touch when you're away from it, it's going to be difficult for you to be successful. I'm not saying you won't have stuff that land on your lap, but it's just it'll be difficult. Josh, he said, thanks for keeping it real on this info. It changed my mindset and I'm starting to see the results in my life and business. Yes, being an entrepreneur is a life change. The people around you will change. Your business will change. Your pockets will change. Ty, do you still or would you shoot music videos? No, I don't shoot music videos. Let me clarify that. I don't shoot music videos professionally. I'll do it as a fun project for my friends or something. If I feel like being creative, I'll shoot a music video. There is for me, I don't see the money in it. Unless you meet a client with a big budget, which is few and far apart. If you're going to do $300, $500 videos, then cool. But let me tell you about videos that suck. Let me tell you what sucks about music videos. Music videos require the highest level of creativity for the lowest level of profit. I said it again. Music videos require the highest level of creativity for the lowest level of profit. Corporate videos is the opposite. They require the lowest level of creativity for the highest level of profit. Most of what you're going to shoot with a corporate video is talking head and B-roll. Talking head, B-roll. 2 different static shots. I'll take that anytime. Music videos, you got to do crazy editing, double cuts, triple lights, and we doing all this moving, and I don't got time for that, fam. Not for this $300. Not happening. Not me. So people like to get into them because they're cool, but cool don't always pay the bill. I'd rather be the lame rich guy than the cool broke guy. All day. I'd rather be the guy that's like, why you got on that? Oh, he getting in that though. I'd rather be the guy that's in a t-shirt and some jeans, some old Wranglers getting in a Lamborghini than the guy that is just decked out in Jordans and gold teeth at a bus stop. I'll take that any day. That's just my style. So some people disagree, and that's cool. Have fun at that bus stop. It's just, I'm just being real. And don't get me wrong. Well, I've shot music videos, right? I like to do them for my friends. I like to push it and be creative, but they're mostly personal projects. They're not for profit. You know what I mean? I like shooting films. My passion is movies. I want to shoot movies. I will be shooting more movies. For those who haven't seen the movies I've shot, if you look up FlashFilm TV YouTube channel, you will see the movies that I shot. My passion is filmmaking. I'm going to shoot a web series soon. I just been working on the master course, and it's been taking all of my life. Looking to develop a niche in law. I do like it. Do you think a video service would add enough value to them, even though much of their traffic comes from SEO? Okay, so you got to be more specific when it comes to law, and I teach that in the master course. I talk about just going down in this course right here. I talk about how to develop that niche, because you got to go 3 layers deep. Just law won't cut it, right? It has to be a specific type of law and type of client you're looking to work with to help develop that niche. Every lawyer can use content. Every lawyer can use tons and tons and tons of content. 90% of the calls that lawyers get is on dumb questions that they answer over and over again. Selling a lawyer on content to keep him or his paralegals or his team off the phone answering dumb questions is paramount. It is big. It's a big deal and a big selling point to lawyers who want to get those questions answered on their website. I see a lot of lawyers are starting to do TikTok. So it's definitely just a gold mine for content. So, really quick, how do you handle your personal life and business life when transitioning from 9 to 5 to having a production company? That's another thing I go over in this course big time. I spent a whole chapter talking about how your life will change by going into business. There's a lot of aspects to that though. And it comes to support system and things like that, like having the right support system and people in place and understanding what you have now. And in this course, I talk about looking at what you have. Do you have the right people in place to go? And what is it going to take? Because a lot of it is mental. A lot of it is mental, support system, family, and it ain't just financial. A lot of people think, oh, it's just about the money. I need to save 20,000. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't. You don't need to say, that's just an excuse people use. People can't fathom saving $20,000. Like, it's just hard to do. And they know it's unobtainable. And in their mind, as long as they feel like they're striving for it, they're doing the right thing, but they know they'll never get a clean 20 grand in their bank account so that they can step out on so-called faith to now go start this business. You can do it. In fact, doing it broke will give you more drive than doing it with a ton of money. With a ton of money, you may sleep in. Doing it broke, you got to get your ass up. You got to get up and you got to go get it. Broke with the lights half off, you got to get up. $20,000 in the bank, you could sleep in an extra 10 minutes. It's not happening when you broke. You up. And when you want to be successful, as much as you want to breathe, you will be successful. Being broke teaches you that. Being hungry makes you grind. It makes you read that book. It makes you say, what am I not getting? My channel really is designed to keep you as far away from that as possible. It's designed to teach you everything I taught when I got eviction notices and repo mans knocking on my door. That's literally, people are like, well, how did you learn all this stuff, Ty? I was broke. I was hungry. I was eating syrup sandwiches. I was struggling. And I had to look at I had to make choices in my life. I had to sell a lot of gear that I promised myself I would go get back when I become more successful. And I had to understand what's working and what's not. This is working and this is not. Let's look at analytics every single day. What's working and what's not? What's working and what's not? Well, I got a whole Ronin gimbal that's collecting dust in my closet that I spent $3,000 for that I haven't used but twice in my life, and it's not working. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I got it, but how is it helping me? It's not. It got to go. So I can take that money and put it into something that's working. Okay, I did a pay-per-click advertisement. Okay, I got one lead. I got a client off that. Okay, I need to take that $3,000 and I need to put that over here. I got lenses that I'm not using. Gosh, I got to pay rent. I need another month to survive so that I can focus on growing this. I need to take this out and put this over here. I don't, when's the last time I used a macro lens? I don't know. I don't know when the last time I used a macro lens. I'm selling that. That got to go. Put it on Craigslist. So you have to, like, when you go into business, it's a different animal. It's that hustler mentality. It's a different animal. It's a different way of living. It's a survival mode that some people just they've not experienced because they've had it so great, so cush, so cool their whole life. They've had a meal to eat their whole life. When you got kids looking at you, Christmas rolling around, birthdays rolling around, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they looking at you like, Dad, I want this. And you're like, how am I going to do that? It's a whole different beast. That hunger. And once you learn how to harness that hunger, once you learn how to take that and let it fuel you, even though you're comfortable, it's a superpower, right? It's a superpower you will learn. It's a superpower you will learn to harness. Think about it like, um, you ever watch the superhero movies where they learn that they have a power and they go see Professor X and Professor X help them mold that power? I'm your Professor X. You all are my mutants in my school with all these powers and abilities, and I'm just trying to help you harness that power to do something great. Because you have the power. You got to just figure out how to shape it and use it. You know what I'm saying? For some people, Cyclops needed the glasses. Wolverine needed to control his temper. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody here has a power. My goal is to help you shape it into something that benefits your life. So that's, for me, what I had to do was kind of figure out, like, this hunger that I have of success and being great. Like, how do I use that to take it to the next level? My goal was never to be in front of the camera. I like being behind the camera. But that hunger was like, get in front of the camera. That hunger was like, turn that YouTube channel and get away from doing reviews and talk to people about things they can really use. So it changed. I didn't start this journey the way you see it now. I started this journey as something else, and that hunger allowed me to mold that into what you see now. It allowed me to mold that. I walked away from a job making 70, 80,000 a year. And that hunger, ducking the repo, man, ducking them calls, making payment arrangements, trying to extend this, paying back title loans and credit card. I will never get up here and tell you it was just smooth. Like Tajas, he got it. Nope. It was a developed skill. And my goal with courses and everything I teach is to help you skip over the part where you're ducking creditors. Is to help you skip over the part where you are worried about them looking for your car. So you ain't got to park your car down the street and around the block. So that to scare you every time you hear a diesel truck ride past your house, and they wake you up in the middle of the night because you hear a diesel truck and you think somebody's snatching your car. You think the repo man is out there. My courses and everything I teach is designed to help you skip that part. It's designed to help you go straight into win mode. So I'm just being real with you. Like, it's not easy. But if you don't take the business part serious, nothing else will matter. If you don't build a solid foundation, I don't care how pretty your house is, it's not going to be there long. So the foundation is understanding how important business is, and look at yourself. Go look in the mirror and be real with yourself. Did I spend more money in gear than I did in my business? If your answer is yes, you have to change it or you're not going to make it. Did I spend more money on a lens? Am I crying and moaning about the price of a lens than I am a LinkedIn learning membership or a course or a book? Why am I more willing to sell out $3,000 for a camera? I don't think nothing of it. 4K, blah, blah, blah. But then I gripe about $100 course on Udemy. Like, your priorities are messed up. You are the reason you are where you're at. And until you fix it, you're going to be a guy with a bunch of gear. And we know a bunch of guys with a bunch of gear. Ding, 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 ding. We know a guy that got all his production stuff. He got all these keyboards and racks, and he got all his whole studio. He can record every hit in the world, but he ain't took no piano lessons. And he fire up all his gear and all his junk, and he got a whole grand piano, and he get on that mug and be like, ding, 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 ding. And you're like, what the heck? You can't play a whole melody, bro? And you got a grand piano and you got all of this and you don't know how to play. You never invested in understanding how to play the piano. You don't understand music, chords, keys, none of that. He's like, nah, I got the latest gear though. Ding, 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 ding. And you're like, what a waste. I know plenty of people who are like that. All the gear in the world, never invested in this. And they are stagnant as hell. Stuck. Just, I go back next week. Ding, 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 ding. Like, that's all you learned, bro? Was ding, ding. That's all you, like, literally. There's a ton of people like that. It just translates over to the camera. Look, I found the high speed. You see that? It translates right over. I know a lot of people who got a lot of camera gear that can't even fully explain half the features on their camera. There's buttons they don't touch. I don't know. I ain't touched that. I don't know what that. What? I never, I never really just, I never hit that button. I don't know what that is. What? This is yours. You do know that, right? You can touch it. You can touch it all you want. If it don't work, you just set it back. What are you scared of? Like, people are really scared to touch buttons. And that's why people be like, kids know how to work all the equipment. Older people will be like, these kids they know how to work technology so well. It's not the case. They're just not afraid of pushing buttons to see what works. They're just like, oh, this button do that. Old people are like, I don't want to touch that. I may mess it up. What are you going to self-destruct it? What is it going to blow up? Touch the button. If you don't like it, set it back. Like, people are literally, I mean, so many adults who are like, I ain't touch none of that. I don't know what that button do. So you spent $60,000 on this car and you're afraid to touch that button? You think it'll just blow the car up? I don't know what it is. Figure it out. Touch it. We can put it back if it don't work. Like, people are so afraid of that. It's amazing. Kids just touch everything. They just hit buttons and be looking like, what that do? What that do? What, they don't read nothing. So as older folks are like, these kids are so smart. No, they didn't went through that whole menu to see everything. They didn't hit every button on that mug to see this, do that. And then by the time you like, how do I change to the other? They like, oh, it's this. Your kids are so smart. It's not the case. They're just not afraid of it. You are. So invest in your head, man. Stop buying gear. Stop it. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. Stop it. Stop. Gear will not take you where you need to go. Release a new book, Dink Dink for Dummies. Read the manual. Yes, do invest in yourself. You want to invest in Canon, but then you want to try to write your own website. This is for people who need the best video possible. Yeah, they should like that. You're not your target audience. How do you sell? You can sell to you, but people in your position don't need content. They don't have the money to buy it. You need to invest in the right stuff. So it's amazing how, think about it like this. You're right. The Blackmagic showed me how much I didn't understand about lighting. Going back to the basics. No more gear. Stay away from the gear. Tim, scary good marketing. We're in business owners that always say we never get it done in the 75 years in business. Yep. The reality is we're still in the first year of our business 75 times. Yep. You're in the first year of your business. I meet a lot of people. I've been doing this for 10 years and you still working a day job? You okay with that? Like, this is going to be a side hustle for anybody that got a side hustle as a business. It's not good at business. Let me just be real and raw. Let me throw punch you real quick. Let me just hit you in your throat. Anybody that got a business and they still go to work, they're not good at business. Sorry, not sorry. There's no way in hell I'm going to still go and answer to the man and wear what he want me to wear and be where he want me to be and do what he want me to do and get a raise when he want me to get a raise and bite my tongue when I gotta bite my tongue and do all this crap if I've truly discovered a way to make a living on my own. That freedom of being an entrepreneur is the best part of being an entrepreneur. Not having to request days off, not having to hope that if they let me, nope. To wake up one morning and it's hot and say, you know what? I'm done working at 2, going to the beach. Peace. I love that more than I love the money. The freedom is the best part of being an entrepreneur. The money will come. When you get the money and the freedom, oh, you living. The freedom is the best part. There are no side hustles that I call entrepreneurs. They're hobbyists. It's a hobby for you. I respect that, but we not the same. Period. That's why I stopped listening to photographers who don't make 100% of their income off of photography to try to tell me about business. I don't want to hear what you're talking about, bro. Because if you had to survive off just your camera, you wouldn't make it. I'm doing it every day. Get out of here, bro. Go back to work. No disrespect, but it's going to sting a little bit. It's going to burn in your chest a little bit, but it's the truth. So be mindful of that. Get better at business, bro. At least you know now, right? You know what you got to fix. He said 12 years since I graduated from film school, still work day job to local TV. I suck at business. It's okay. It's okay. I am here to take you to the promised land. I am here to get you over that hump, to help you understand where you're not being successful and how to fix it, right? It's okay. I was there as well. You're not alone. I want to say that. You're not going through that struggle alone. You're going through that struggle with like-minded people who are also in that same place. And they're working to get out of it. And you're seeing some who are breaking free, some who are going ahead, some who are moving forward. I had a gentleman post that he said, I watched the channel and took the course, and I landed a Fortune 100 company as a client. Huge. Business is exactly that. Business is a marathon. It's not a sprint. What about selling your gear so you can do more with less? You may have more gear than what you need. I used to be the guy who bought stuff just in case. In my mind, I got clients that I may need an extra camera. I may need 5 GoPros. I want to have it and buy all this gear and not never use it. Never use it. Like I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example. Everybody's running out to buy gimbals, right? I got a gimbal. I got a few gimbals. Some of them clients have sent to me or whatever. Bro, a gimbal is one of the least used tools that I have. I have to like fight to bust a gimbal. Let me make this shot dope, y'all. Just give me a second. I've never had a client. I'm not going to say that. 2% of my clients in my whole life have requested Steadicam and Steadicam operator. They just don't. Unless I'm doing an event or something. It's something that's not asked for, but I have it. So just be mindful of that. Jesse Douglas, I follow the same path, leap of faith, giving up a great paying job to pursue my dream of filmmaking. Now I'm a full-time DP with national accounts. Hustle hard and learn the business end. Yep. On corporate shoots, do you help them write the script, interview questions? How does that work? Johnny, I got a whole course that talks about how I do that, how I charge for it, who do I bring in to write it, and that's that course right there. It talks about a lot of that portion of it, because that is a major upsell when it comes to working with clients. Major upsell. Real quick, let me put this back on the screen for the messages. Someone in marketing said, if a person is teaching in college, they're not the go-to on what they do. I strongly agree with that. Unless you're, I used to say, if your professor's old and he's looking to retire and make some money, he go teach him, but he's not in the game. He's not in the game. Let's see. I created a contract that is very solid, but isn't legally reviewed. What should I do? Work without reviewing it or wait till I can afford to get it reviewed? We got contracts as well but our contracts have all been created by lawyers. I would say get it legally reviewed because it is useless it's useless. A good lawyer will run circles around traditional terms and just regular talking points. Your stuff will be like, we are here to cover it from this time to this time, and a lawyer will just rip it to shreds. I've seen lawyers just tear through bad contracts quick. I've seen contracts that worked against you more than worked for you in certain cases. Like a friend of mine had a contract that stated that we wouldn't provide. It was something along the lines of we don't provide raws in case of blah blah blah, something like that. And a lawyer was like, "Well, you didn't say this, you said that. So since we're past that, we get the raws." Like, and they was like, "Damn, I did say that." You know what I'm saying? So if you don't, again, that's the case where I tell people all the time: if you're not an expert in that, don't touch it. Right? Pay somebody to do it. Bring in professional help. It's amazing how we want to be successful, and we want people to hire us to cover what they don't know, but we don't want to hire nobody to cover what we don't know. Right? You're not going to be, listen, let me tell you, I'm going to get ready to wrap in a minute. You're not going to be successful until you trust people to hire them to be great at what they do for your brand. People won't hire you to do the same. Right? We always expect that. I want to figure it out and do stuff on my own and write up my own stuff and do this and do that. But then I want a company to turn around and say, we don't know how to do it. We're going to give you a big check to come do it for us. No, life don't work like that. You have to bring professionals around you to help at areas you're weak at. SEO, marketing, pay-per-click, grammar sometimes, right? Copyright. My grammar sucks. I know it. I bring in copywriters. Right? All these graphics you're seeing are from Parker. He does a great job with graphics. I thought I was good at graphics and he's better. That's his information. So if you need graphics, that's where you go. Bring in people around you and invest to understand, to grow that area. In our mind, we feel like we're good enough. You're not. Stop thinking that. Bring in professionals. Bring in people who can really help take your stuff to the next level, right? Paying someone can be cheaper than doing it yourself. Figure it out. Yep. Pay somebody who dedicate their lives to being great. So do that. Grammarly is awesome. Download that, people. It is awesome. However, if you're writing copyright, it's not going to have the experience to know what works and what converts. That's right. Team mindset. Can't do it all by yourself. Invest. Is that, yes, that's 30% off that course until the end of the month. Investing, that's what I mean by invest in yourself. Invest in that copyright. Invest in that, go to a lawyer. If you got the contract and you feel solid about it, go to a lawyer, present it, and invest. You may be able to get a paralegal that can look it over a little bit and provide some stuff. But get a lawyer to say, okay, this is solid. Because the last thing you want to do is find out if that contract is solid in court. Oh, you talk about hurt. You talk about pain. Sit in court and let them go through your contract that you felt so confident about. Yes, I wrote it myself, guys. Listen to this. And the lawyer get up there and they just Edward Scissorhands with that boy. They just slicing it up. Just if you've seen Edward Scissorhands, you're old enough to see that, then you know what's up. They just going through that boy like, okay, hey, let's start with line 1. Oh, hey, we done with that. Next, and you sitting there like, so yes, Johnny, that is absolutely correct. I'll put that on the screen again. For subscription clients, do you offer different monthly commitments? I only have 3 months. So that's another thing. I hate to be like, we cover that. That's another thing that's also covered in the course. We talk about subscription models, what you should charge, packages, how you should charge it. That's in that one. So, but yes, to answer that, yes, I offer bigger discounts for longer contracts. Or I may throw some a la carte items in, or I may create packages. So it just depends on, the client and what my niche is and what I'm offering. See, the thing is this, I don't even like to talk about packaging, subscription until we discover pricing and packages, right? And a la carte items. Because you can sell value with an a la carte item. And that's something we talk about here. So let me give you an example. When you go to McDonald's, and you get a combo meal, right? They discovered the price of the cheeseburger, they discovered the price of the fries, they discovered the price of the drink. If you buy them separately, they're more. And they did that on purpose to get you to buy a combo meal, to sell more combo meals. So they'll make it a little cheaper with a combo meal, right? If you add pickles to your combo meal, it's a fraction of the price than if you literally went to McDonald's and say, I want to buy pickles, or they won't sell it to you. But to understand that, you need to have your base pricing set up, right? You need to treat your services as if they're products. And then once you got that set up and you got combos, then you can upsell. Then they large size you. Then they add apple pies. You want to add cookies? They work with that. It's hard to do that if you don't have your pricing structure set up correctly. It's hard to do that if you eyeball it and you're like, give me 800 for this. And then they like, well, we want to add another day. Well, that's 200. How's that 200 when the first one was 800? Well, it don't make sense. Now it's an integrity issue. Now the client loses trust. Now it doesn't add up. They can't go to their boss and make it make sense. So you are a little weird. I don't trust you, bro. You look a little shady. We're going to go with this other company that laid it all out and got the pricing structure correct. So in that course, I talk a lot about building that pricing structure, and it come with a pricing calculator, so you can just enter the stuff and it'll give you the price. I make basketball reels, but been doing a lot of my stuff outside my niche because of the pandemic. Where should my clients refer other potential clients to, since my page is basketball reels only? Find somebody that you're close with, maybe work out like a commission or cut 10%, something like that. Most content creators will be happy to give you 10% to just have a client land on their lap, and you would be happy to make 10% just pointing them in the right direction. So work out something like that. So, Robert says living off savings, that course right there, that's where you want to start. That one in part 2. That's where you want to start. Your thoughts on, Michael, what's going on, bro? Your thoughts on value-based pricing structure versus item-based pricing structure. They're very similar. Very similar. Because your item, you want to create value around your item. So they're very, very similar in what we do. Think about it. We're taking a service and we're trying to create a product out of a service, right? So companies that do this well are like Comcast and Time Warner. They're creating cable services and they're making packages out of it, right? They're adding upsells like DVR, faster internet, different boxes. So you're kind of doing the same. Service is a little different. So you want to make sure that, and if you don't have your services structured right, you can't make packages out of it. And that's where a lot of people fail because they're eyeballing it. They want to get a client and then come up with a price every time. It don't work like that. Like, know what your profit margins are, set up that product, and then push it, move it like that, and then go for upsells and a la cartes. But don't eyeball it. So it's pretty much the same thing. Correct, Michael. It's pretty much the same thing. But I strongly believe in taking an item and building value around that item, right? So one of my upsells, it's a big upsell and a big money maker, is teleprompters, right? Hey, you're doing talking head. If you got more than 2 sentences, we highly recommend you guys jump up to a teleprompter. You add a teleprompter so that you can look into the camera and read it, and you won't have to memorize your script. Have you guys done this before? Like, have you done some stage acting? If you've done stage acting, you're probably fine memorizing 2 paragraphs of script. But if you haven't, we highly suggest it, because you don't want to look off camera. It seems weird. It's not natural if you look off camera. And to save money, a lot of times we usually go through the talking portion a lot faster because the client is not pausing and we spend less time editing. So it's something that I offer. It's something that I keep in a van anyway. And it's an extra $250 to $300 a day. That's pure profit. Pure profit. So something to think about. It makes responding to the client much easier when you have itemized products. Absolutely. And this is something that people don't think about that we teach in the course. Really huge, right? Really, really huge. And I'm gonna say this, and then I know I said I'm gonna wrap, but we're gonna really wrap. When you have your stuff itemized, listen to this. When you have your services itemized into packages and boxes and bricks and Legos, clients will build what they want, right? People think that they'll go down, but in most cases they go up. Because if they have a budget of $10,000, they're going to stack it until they get to about $10,000. You think this don't work? Go to an Apple website and build you a laptop. If in your mind you got $5,000 to spend on a laptop, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm saving money, I'm going to get the 3,000 one. Nope. You're going to say, let me add the RAM. I need more disk space. Let's go with the graphic card update. And I'll take a copy of Final Cut Pro. Boom, bang, pow. I'm still at under my budget, or I'm a few dollars over, but it's fine because I got everything I wanted. That same method works with your service. So keep that in mind as you offer that to a client. The teleprompter I use is an iPad teleprompter. Any iPad teleprompter, I use it because I can control it with my phone and I can control the speed and things like that. So those are things that will be very easy upsells. And another thing that's super important, when your pricing is solid like that, companies and people tend to trust you more. You're not eyeballing it. You're not coming up with stuff. You're not figuring it out. It ain't no, oh, well, maybe I can do this for that. You don't seem like the shady used car salesman. You seem like the brand new Mercedes salesman who has a list of everything they offer, and then they have things you can add to that car. They have upgrades. You want this motor? Cool. You want all-wheel drive? Cool. You want this stripe? Cool. You want carbon fiber? Cool. That's how you want to operate your business. And we teach you about that in that first module. But those are just concepts that will help you. Pricing won't be a factor that scare people away anymore when you add value and structure to your pricing. If you're getting sales, if you're getting clients, and you like, we talking everything cool, and then I say the price, and they like, oh well, we're gonna see what they. It's because your price doesn't make sense. Just like when you go to a dealership, if they get handed you, if they say this Mustang over here is 42,000, but this one's 36,000, and you like, well, why? Well, we just feel like this one's worth more. That doesn't make no sense. But if I give you a price sheet and I break it down, this is a V6 model and this is a GT. This got a regular roof. This has the glass roof. You're like, oh, okay. I see why that's more. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. The way you work with clients is the exact same way. You just don't feel it because you haven't been in their shoes. But the way they're looking at whether or not they want to spend money with you works on those same principles. So be mindful of that as you create your brand and you price to sell. That's why we break it down into a pricing structure like that. That's why I prefer structure-based pricing over the eyeballing it that a lot of other content creators push over selling kits and all. I don't do all of that. I come with the kit. Like the base rate comes with a kit. We're not going to charge you because I feel like using a different camera, as if you know the difference between a cinema camera and a camcorder. And the client don't. They don't care. They just want it done right. I'm not going to make a client go home and research the difference between two kits. They're like, what? I got a problem, bro. I don't care. That's like me. That's like you imagine you going to get surgery and your doctor is like, I need you to choose between which scalpel we're going to bring to the surgery. You're like, what? I don't know. I need you, we can get you with this type of anesthesia or this anesthesia. You're going to feel it in the morning, but it'll tingle. And this one, you're like, what? I don't know, bro. Just fix the problem. Like, I don't care about none of that. Like, I don't want to have to figure that out. I want to go with a doctor that knows what I need, that know what scalpel to use, or anesthesiologists that know what I should need for my weight and height. Like, why do I gotta figure that out? That's scary. I don't want to do that. You're literally doing that when you have a client pick a kit and pick, all this extra stuff. They don't care about that, bro. So think about that as you approach your client. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap. Listen, I want to thank y'all for tuning in today. Real good show as usual. My gold members, I will see you Thursday at 9. I'm sorry, 7, not 9. Don't be here. We're gonna probably rock until 9, but we're gonna be here to 7. If you have not subscribed to the podcast, this audio and much more can be found on that podcast. And if you have subscribed, please rate it. Please rate the podcast. If you're not even listening to the podcast, if you're on Apple Music, please go and rate the podcast. We are like number 20 in Dubai for entrepreneur podcasts. Don't ask me how. Everybody that's in the Middle East, much love to you. Appreciate you. As we say in the hood, appreciate you. So I just want to say that this is the dirty part nobody wants to talk about when it comes to the content side. This is not the channel where I'm going to feed you with the gear BS. I love gear. I love it. I am just a gear guy. I spend hours in my office playing with new camera gear. I love it, but I have to understand that it will not make me more successful, right? I have to understand that, and I have to make sure you all understand that. Gear will not take you places. Just like having the freshest basketball shoes and the nicest shorts on the court does not mean you have the skills to be great. I know a lot of fly hoopers that are trash money. It's about the work you put in the gym. It's about the technique. It's about the free throws, the shooting. That is your business side. Think of it like that. Gear, shoes, and hats and headbands and wristbands, and you come out hooping in a Jordan outfit and you like, yo, but you can't shoot and you just trash. Business is learning how to play basketball. It's the fundamentals. I highly encourage you to do that. Focus on that. All right, guys. With that being said, I am out. Like, share, subscribe, and all that stuff all the YouTubers tell you guys to do. And I will definitely see you guys in the next video. For sure.